The number one skill to learn to have a better quality of life is nervous system regulation. What does that mean? That doesn't mean that we repress our feelings. That doesn't mean that we have no feelings or that we don't have any of the negative feelings. It means we know how to regulate them. But first, we have to understand what our body is trying to communicate to our mind through the way of feelings and emotions. So I'm going to give you a very basic way to get started with that so that you can build from there. So first up is identifying what the actual emotion is. Now, most people stop at like a 5 to 7 year old emotional label. Mad, angry, sad, happy, fearful, right? Which is fine if you want to have the emotional depth and connection of a 5 to 7 year old child, which is where most people are. They don't know how to regulate their emotions, so they hand it off to everybody else. It's like, I'm mad, so here you go. It's now your problem, as opposed to owning your feelings and understanding them. So I want you to go to feelingswheel.com and just this week, check in, set an alarm on your phone twice a day, and go to feelingswheel.com and just start to look at other complex emotions. So in the middle or in the inner circle of the feelingswheel.com are very rudimentary, basic emotions. Angry, happy, fearful, sad. But if you go out into the other layers of this feelings wheel, you'll see there's more complex emotions. Like I'm feeling vulnerable, or I'm feeling rejected, or I'm feeling dismissed. Notice that there are different solutions and thoughts that come to mind as there's different complexity to the emotion. So if I say that I'm angry to someone, they're going to perceive anger in their own way, which look at the feelings wheel. There's a bunch of different ways that anger can show up. But if I say I'm feeling vulnerable, there's a different perception of that word. There's a different experience of that word. There's a different understanding of that word versus anger. So the more that you can identify a more accurate emotion or feeling that you're experiencing, the better you'll be able to communicate with someone so that you guys are solving for the actual emotion rather than a really broad emotion like anger or fear. Okay. Next, after that, and we're going to end after this step 2, is where are you feeling that emotion in the body? So this is creating emotional intelligence, which means that we're connecting the emotions of the body to the intelligence of the brain. So if I say that I'm feeling rejected, I'm going to quickly scan my body. Where does that feeling show up for me? Probably in your heart, probably in your upper stomach. Sometimes it's in your throat. Those are kind of the main areas that feelings and emotions show up. Now, all that is just hormones being dumped into your body by your amygdala, right? That are creating your heart rate increasing, muscle tension, tightness, nerves firing and wiring. And so that is all that's happening. Your emotions are not permanent. They are temporary because that hormone eventually exhausts itself. And so the more that you can recognize, okay, I feel lonely and I feel that in my chest, great. We've got a basis of something to work off of. Because then when we want to regulate our nervous system, we can think about the areas that we are experiencing it and start to relax or send our energy and our focus to those areas. So if I'm feeling tension in my chest or tightness in my chest, I'm going to breathe into it and start to push against the tightness that is starting to happen to start to soften or release the uncomfortable experience of that feeling. Right? Or I can logically start to go, okay, what is it that I'm so afraid of? Or why is it I'm feeling lonely? And can I start to get the feeling, the sensation, the nervous system in my body to start to loosen the grip on it? Now, let me know if that was helpful. Like and follow along if you want to learn more self-awareness tips on how to regulate your nervous system, because it's game-changing. Absolutely game-changing.